Alex, thank you very much for joining us in studio.
My pleasure, Sam. Great pleasure to be here indeed.
Before we talk about the title, The Cow at the Window, just for the benefit of our viewers, a brief synopsis on what your offering is all about.
My offering, nice way to put it, and thank you for at least reading the book. A lot of interviewers don't. It's a representation of the integration between animal and man. And we must never forget that when someone has a problem with an animal, I'm not just dealing with the animal, I'm dealing with you as the owner. Yeah. And it's this fascinating integration that has filled my life with such joy in my profession.
I can only imagine that you must have stories for days to talk about to some of the cases you've dealt with. But why the cow at the window?
Well, the cow at the window developed primarily because it offered such a range of all the incidents that I've been involved in. Now, it takes you away back to my very early days as a rookie vet. It's the southern uplands of Scotland, heather-filled, real people, the salt of the earth. And when my lovely young wife and I visit the farm, we're faced with a cow that's dying. Okay. And the cow actually dies when we arrive. And this is terrible. My world falls apart. This is my first experience of this. I'm a deacon in the Catholic Church now, so I'm used to dealing with death. Yeah. But in those days it was awful. But then my wife drags me out of this pit of despair that I'm in. She says, look, the unborn calf is moving. And through the breeding passage, we see this little pink tongue going doo-doo. And then we spend 20 minutes delivering this calf. Yeah. And from disaster and despair, we produce this beautiful creature after 20 minutes of CPR, and it survives.
And that's the inspiration behind the name.
That's the inspiration.
You start your book by sharing your favorite story, Mrs. Rogers and the Pekingese. We don't want to give it away too much, but why that story?
Mrs. Rogers was one of those delightful characters that you rarely meet. She was a very elderly lady. The significant thing about her is that she had spectacles as thick as milk bottles. And she brought Chang in to see me. Now, Chang is a little Pekingese. Yeah. His legs are perhaps 10 centimetres long, but when he's been out walking, he's managed to find one of those Kojak lollipops. You know those lollipops with the round ball and the little stick? Yeah. And the round ball is stuck to his ball. So the poor creature can't walk, so it's going leg, lollipop, leg, lollipop, leg, lollipop. So it's a fascinating story of how I tried to explain to the lady how, in fact, her problem is not serious at all.
You, for years, have written various articles in a very serious nature, and this is your first kind of attempt at bridging your experience and, as you titled it a bit earlier, family humor. How different is this cap, Alex, to the Alex the vet, the serious content writer, sharing of information?
You know, I don't think it's different because this book is actually me. Okay. It's who I am. And it's a reflection on the many stories, the many incidents that I've been fortunate enough to be exposed with. I do a lot of public speaking. And it's from those notes that my family said to me, look, why don't we do something a bit more with this? So the stories developed partly as a family history from that.
What has the feedback been? I mean, right now it's available online, and we'll give those details out a little bit later. But what are people saying to you about these stories? Because they are connecting us.
Well, I'm fascinated and I'm thrilled with the response because initially as an author, you're a bit concerned that, am I pushing this into your face, Sam? It's like marketing. You know, am I giving you a product I think you need? Or are you turning to me and say, well done, Alex, I like this. And that is what's happening because we're covering the whole range of story from humour to sadness. Remember, we're talking about the early 70s, no cell phones, no computers, when people were real people. And it's that integration, as I say, that's important. And yes, I'm absolutely thrilled with the response I'm having.
Okay, so let's grow that response very quickly. Anybody wants to find out more information, where can they go? Where can they order the book?
Amazon.com is the best. And the fascinating thing, of course, as you being a young sort of a chap knows, is that nearly everybody's buying it on ebook.
Yeah.
That's the way to go these days.
So you're able to purchase it on ebook. And then very quickly, we've got 20 seconds. You're working on sequels for this. There's more coming.
Oh, the next book is called The Bull with the Bent Willie. So I'm not telling you anything about that.
The next book is called The Bull with the Bent Willie.
The Bull with the Bent Willie.
That's very funny. Okay, Alex Niven is the author of The Cow at the Window, and he's working on his new book called The Bull with the Bent Willie. It's available on Amazon. Go and check it out. And it's very funny. It's humoristic stories about the time when Alex Niven was still a practicing vet. We take an ad break. Okay, anyway.